Hey guys, I want to say to everyone out there that's actually watching this, welcome to Wrestling Fan Open Mic Night. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. You're going to get honesty towards professional wrestling. Now, I forgot to talk about this because obviously how warm my room is in my house right now. That's why I look like a bag of crap. Not because I was just lack of sleep this past week, which I've explained on both of my recent uploads, covering the likes of CM Punk being the WWE champion. And now I've covered Kenny Omega being the AEW champion. I've not talked about this, but I want to get this off my chest. Right, I've addressed this on TikTok and I'm going to address it to you guys that's watching this. Right? It baffles me when it comes to wrestling fans. Right? It really, really baffles me at times. When it comes to the crunch and comes to my attention that when we talk about tickets towards professional wrestling, right? I've said it numerous of times. What WWE charge for today's pricing is ridiculous, but I can understand with things going up in price. Then when you see on my timeline for the past few days that AEW tickets are up to 50% off, and people are mocking AEW for doing that, but it's not AEW that's doing it. You just go to assume straight hate towards AEW. Towards, looks like they're not going to last long in business. Looks like they're trying to fill out Wembley Stadium. Any excuse to shoot shade towards AEW, what they're trying to do. But like I've stated already, it's not AEW. It's Ticketmaster. They do a summer sale every single year. You know, you're fortunate you can get up to 50% off. You should be grateful for getting 50% off to go to see a live wrestling show. You know, you got to think this. Think before you literally say anything towards me or anyone that does support AEW, because you got to get your facts right. Now, if the likes of WWE was doing a UK show and they got up to 50% off, right? I want to say this: AEW fans, as far as I've noticed, would not say it a button or an eyelid, because you love winding up AEW fans. It winds me up. Why do you think I am the way I am on this very platform as well as TikTok? Because some people do find WWE expensive, don't get me wrong. And AEW is an alternative to go to watch and they do make it affordable. You know, and that's me being honest. If you're passionate about wrestling, you don't matter whatever it is, that's great. But you can't shoot on fucking AEW because it's Ticketmaster's summer sale. You can use that voucher code on numerous of gigs, concerts, comedy, stand-up, you name it. All because AEW is involved in this sale. People thinking AEW is getting desperate to sell those tickets. Now, I've got to say this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. When people literally don't even know the facts, they just assume by a headline. They assume straight away as a headline. You know, I'll tell you one thing though, guys. If I want to say this, I've got my AEW tickets. Paddy's already sorted that months ago when ticket was released. we're not the type of people that would wait. But if you grab a good bargain, you grab a good bargain on that sale. It's the risk you take when it goes to fucking tickets, right? If people, this is one thing that makes me laugh when it comes to people and tickets, right? You say WWE is a fair price. I've had people say that to me, but yet these are the same people that wait near enough last minute to book a ticket, hoping that price drops. Now, I'm not shooting on anyone that's fucking doing this. You can do whatever you want. But I'm saying, as a person that loves professional wrestling, I wouldn't take that risk. I always book the hotel first, then I'll book the tickets, then I'll book travel, then I'll book other tickets. If, like, prime example, this coming trip for London, I take that risk. Because I don't want to miss out on certain things. Certain things I will miss out now because obviously now unemployed. But I'm hoping to get a job soon. But fingers crossed for me, guys. So someone literally asked me in a video, when WWE fans are mocking for Wembley if it's half full. I mean, sells about tickets, and they don't sell that well. Then you look at the way SummerSlam's sold tickets. AEW in Wembley sold more than night one of SummerSlam at the moment. He's asked, what's the difference? It's just worded. I would say it's worded difference to some people to basically them to attack on people. That's how I feel when it comes to shit like this. I feel like they word it to the point where people just mock AEW for the sake of mocking AEW without even attending a show or watching it on TV or paying for a pay-per-view. They would just find any excuse to attack AEW for the sake of it because they laugh at how many Wembley tickets have sold. But when it comes to something like SummerSlam Night 1, this person asked in one of my videos in the comments, which I've only just seen, AEW fans don't attack back. The only time when we have actually attacked back, like myself, is when the O2 didn't sell well for SmackDown. And I said, like I said jokingly, they'll end up showing the England game, it still won't make any difference because of that price. But the reason why people didn't buy sort of when let's just say they had a month to prepare for that show, they weren't going to drop the prices. I feel like at the moment, the reason why I'm not saying this in a bad light or anything, guys, don't get your knickers in a twist. But I feel like at the moment, when it comes to WWE, I feel like they're going to start probably from next year or something like that, announcing shows closer to time to the show than give it like they used to, plenty of gap in between shows. So it gives people to plan it, to organise to go, and everything. I've got a feeling that's going to happen more and more frequent, and it's more and more is going to piss a lot of people off. Because how could you literally announce a Raw, let's just say, that was the night before SmackDown when it was taped, so obviously because it aired later on in the week because they went to Saudi Arabia. This is not me criticising WWE, I mean, you got to think this, when it comes to a certain thing like this, and then all of a sudden a lot of people bought tickets, they had a lot of time to plan for it, like trains, coaches, driving, taking time off. You had more time to plan for it. That's what I do miss when I see the likes of WWE when they did it for SmackDown. which they dropped it, I think, about 4 or 5 weeks prior. I've already done a whole video on this, I know, but I'm going over it for a reason. I feel like you didn't give your fan base enough time to prepare for it. Like, you can't get a cheap hotel that quick. You can't get cheap travel that quick. You can't plan around it. You can't... Even your wages. A prime example. I know, yeah, I said about tickets expensive. But when people do that last minute thing to get that price drop, sometimes it doesn't work that way. That's why I feel like SmackDown didn't sell. It's not about the wrestlers that's on the card, but I feel like some way or form it is, although it's the current storylines maybe. There's so many of it. This is not me hindering the WWE. This is me being honest with you as a wrestling fan. Yes, fair enough. You can plan like an independent show because they're cheap enough to shed out whatever it costs, but it doesn't cost as much as WWE does. But yet people still wait for that price drop on the last minute or the last week or something to get those last minute tickets. But when you've got a month to prepare for going something like that, that's where it hinders your fan base. That's where you are going to start pissing your fan base off. Now, if they do this more and more apparent, you're making your fans choose what they want to watch. Now, the thing is, when it comes to the likes of AEW, I feel like people had a lesser time to prepare. We could say that AEW had less time prepared for All In because of the recent things that has been going off. But end of the day, it's still a decent amount of time to prepare for like a cheap hotel, travel, etc. We know everything's going up in price. I'm not shooting shade towards the WWE and the ticket situation that I've been stressing about for numerous of weeks. It's just me being honest with you guys as wrestling fans. Because I look at the bigger picture, right? I do want to watch WWE again, and this is me being honest. If you die hard with me, but nothing's attracting to me to tune into that product anymore because I've got Netflix in my room. I miss the days when I used to sneak in when I was a kid, stay up late to watch Raw before school, after work, and when it was on a sports provider. Now I've got it in my room that I've always wished for from when I was a kid. I don't want to entertain it. Now that's not me saying because I'm a WWE hater. No, this is me being honest with you. With this ticket situation, this ticket sale, when I see shit like this go off, the way the dirt sheets highlight it, it worries me. Because these are the same people who want to make that expensive move towards watching a WWE show. Or have they? You know? I just look at the bigger picture of this. They could sell more tickets doing this. And it's not a desperate move from AEW. It's Ticketmaster that's doing the ticket thing, not AEW. You gotta think this. Everyone wants to nitpick at AEW, don't get me wrong. I could nitpick at WWE their faults, and people don't like it when I say them opinions towards WWE. You know, I could easily. I've done it all the time here on YouTube. I've done it I literally was the final straw last SummerSlam. But like I've stressed in many videos, it's not the talent. I feel sorry for the talent, what the shit they've been doing. You know? It's what they've been given to do. You have to be that yes man, like I was for my job, and that fell through. Because I felt like I was stabbed in the back for many people. But I'm not here to distress it on social media. I've told people that I respect, that I trust for many, many years. But like I say to you guys, you gotta remember, learn the facts before you say anything. And I look at Beach Break, they were unique staging and everything like that. It looked amazing. I think it's in the same place where GTA 6 is based. I could be wrong, but it looks beautiful out there. I want to say this, and I'll be honest with you. That's what I missed about WCW when they had that uniqueness, when they had a Road Wild or something like that. If Tony Khan's doing any more TV shows, special wise, try and get to music festivals. Like when WWE did NXT at Download here in the United Kingdom. You know, but they didn't actually do it as a taping. They could easily do it similar to that format. That's one thing I did miss about NXT when I looked back. The takeovers were great. They had the uniqueness to them. Now I feel like everything just feels too corporate, even though they're young talent trying to thrive to get to the main roster. But when they get to the main roster, one little fault, they don't like that certain wrestler. You know, I've seen it done many times. But it's really, really is depressing when people literally think, oh, because AEW is struggling, that's why it's up to 50% off the tickets. It's not AEW. I repeat this. It's Ticketmaster. They're doing their summer sale. Considering these are the people that meant to book tickets for certain shows, even WWE, and they don't know when they do sales, do they? Or they're just getting on social media just for the sake of it to shoot some shade towards a company that could do really well from this sale and benefit from this sale. They could just outsell Wembley. They could. I'm just surmising, guys. They could have their all-time attendance record, what they've actually set in the past, been beaten because the amount of times I've seen people update it, they've literally sold, yeah, maybe 2,000, less than 2,000 more, but it's still more than some people that get a concert. You know, you could be in. I'm not shooting shade to people that disrespecting people in different realms towards tickets, but I'm saying this: some shows can't sell that well. It's not just wrestling, you know. And people are now speculating this could be the last year that All In's at Wembley. Don't ever think that, because people were jumping on the bandwagon that saying Jack Perry was going to go to AEW. I mean, from AEW go to NXT or WWE. He's re-signed. I saw it on Beach Break with my own eyes. Job fucking well done. People just need to be shut up for a change. You know, people don't like it when I buy WWE's fans' heads off, if you want to say. But I don't. I'm just voicing my opinion. But if you can't separate social media from the person that I am, there's people that have grown to like me. Believe it or not, there is people that respect me. Don't assume what I'm like on my videos. Do not assume what I'm typing on Facebook. Don't take it personally as a personal attack. This is constructive criticism. Because if you take it on a personal level, Jesus Christ, God help you. But that's my thoughts and opinions. Tell me your thoughts in the comments.